Biggest challenge for small and medium enterprises is really the non-tariff barriers to trade. And since the community came into being less than about a decade ago, we've made a lot of headway in removing non-tariff barriers to trade, be they the physical barriers, the roadblocks, the web bridges, be they the legal barriers that are in the laws and regulations through the Customs Management Act, which makes it much easier for people to do trade within East Africa, be they through the harmonization of standards in East Africa and mutual recognition of some of the standards. That work is ongoing, and it has helped small and medium enterprises, but also the big enterprises. The other big issue for them is access to finance. And what we've been trying to do is financial integration within East Africa to make it easier for these people to use their local currency to pay. And so we've established an East African payment system, which is still in its early stages, but is showing a lot of promise for people to just use their local currency trading within East Africa. And so those are some of the what we've done for these businesses.
One of the issues that has come up again and again is the lack of political will to implement these policies that will enhance integration. And I know there is a bill that was passed at the East African Community Assembly that will hold governments accountable. How will it do so?
What is amazing about this bill is that the countries themselves committed to being held accountable in this area, and I commend them for it. First of all, it says that thou shalt not set up non-tariff barriers. That is by law now. So if you set it up, you're already breaking the law. That's a good start. Second, it says anybody who feels that there is a non-tariff barrier to trade that's been placed in his or her way can then legally appraise the national structures that exist. If he or she doesn't get satisfaction, the regional structures, including the Council of Ministers. And if that doesn't work, eventually the East African Court of Justice, when it gets jurisdiction to deal with the commercial matters in East Africa. So this is now what we've been having currently are voluntary actions by governments to remove non-tariff barriers to trade, negotiated sometimes bilaterally, sometimes regionally. With the new law, this will now be mandatory and anchored in the legal provisions of the East African community.
Well, recently there was a meeting held in Cairo to discuss establishment of free trade area and of course bringing together the regional blocs from here in East Africa and North Africa. So how is this going to benefit businessmen? This
deal has three pillars. One is the market access pillar, so the free trade area, which was signed in Sharm el-Sheikh. The other one is the infrastructure pillar, to make sure that these goods can move. So rail, energy, roads are part of this program. And the other component is an industrialization pillar. So what can we do to promote cross-border value chains and develop industrialization in this area? And finally, a free movement of business persons component. So it's a comprehensive deal. If it works, it will be a huge boon for African business, and it is also a good step towards the continental free trade area eventually.